There's a word called cabron, quite bold and strong, for calling someone an asshole who does others wrong. It's best used with care, lest you make a mistake, for calling someone that can cause quite the quake. In feminine form, cabrona, you see, can label a bitch as mean as can be, but wield it with caution or face a storm, for these words pack a punch, not quite the norm. So if you must use them, make sure they fit, for cabron and cabrona don't easily quit. A linguistic spice, like hot pepper's heat. It's best served with humor, or not at all. Neat. Hee hee hee.
Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners. Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook. But you've heard me say that before, and in case you haven't heard me say that before, guess what? You're going to hear me say it again. We connect from Monday through Saturday. We look at the headlines from our city, state, and country. We look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions, and we throw everything out the window. No, I'm just kidding. We don't throw everything out the window. We put all this information to good use as a community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta, combined with those of you that keep close tabs on us from other cities and other countries. It's a pleasure having you as well. Today, it's Friday, January 17, another Friday. I mean, what the fuck happened to this week? I have no idea. But here we are. We don't have a lot of news, but we have fascinating news to share. So as always, please consider adding a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. I see some interesting comments already, my goodness, but no Qs. Add a capital letter Q, please, to your comment if you wish to have your comment acknowledged in any way. And of course, if you're watching live for the first time, it will be a pleasure for us to give you a nice little welcome if you add a capital letter N to your comment. But first, let's take a quick look at the news. This is so messy that, yesterday we were reporting on a handful of protected species turtles that are protected species that were stolen from the local university. But the local university has published a press conference indicating that Puerto Vallarta has suffered several thefts at the University of the Casquito de Vallarta turtle. A total of 55 specimens have been stolen from the institution. Dr. Jorge Telles, who is the dean of the university, accompanied by biologist Armando Escobedo, who heads the Center for Research for the Conservation of Wildlife, met with the press to indicate that the first theft occurred all the way back on December 9th of last year, when two people posing as Profepa inspectors stole 40 turtles. And the second incident is the one that was reported. It happened on January 15, where people stole an additional 15 specimens of the animal. Now, you're probably wondering why the university would keep this information to themselves for over a month, why they did not decide to make this public. Well, if you're wondering that, you are not the only one. Moving right along, we talked about the Puente Federación, which has been in the process of being constructed for a number of years. We reported that Presidenta Sheinbaum came to Puerto Vallarta recently to inaugurate the new highway. And during that visit, we reported that she will go ahead and mandate that the puente, the bridge, continues construction. It was renamed to the bridge Amado Nervo. And we got all excited because she authorized its construction. But we learned through one of her morning press conferences that it won't be until October of 2025, October of this year, that the federal government will begin construction of the bridge. The bridge, when finished, will connect San Vicente in Bahía de Banderas, Nayarit, with the Verde Vallarta area, which is northeastern Puerto Vallarta, in Ixtapa. But guess what? Here's the part that I think is fascinating and interesting. It won't be ready till 2027. And why the delay? Well, it could be money. I hope it's money because when you think about it, when the recent highway was just finished, a bridge, an overpass had to be constructed over Highway 544, which is the highway that goes to San Sebastián del Oeste. And they did that in a matter of weeks. So why this new bridge has to take over a year to reach completion is a mystery to me. And I wish I had a good understanding of why this happens, but that's the way it's going to go. In the meantime, we continue to monitor all the other improvements that are being done near the Las Juntas intersection to determine how traffic is going to be addressed and hopefully improved in that particular area. But we don't have anything in our hands, so we might as well skip over to the weather and find out what is going on out there. And Snarky Weatherman says, I wish Kier Egan was my real maker. And of course, I have no idea who that is. Maybe somebody would be kind enough to Google the name and let us know what this is about. What we do know is that it is 21 degrees out there. Humidity is at 75%. And our weather forecast for today indicates that we're going to have partly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 26 and a low of 16. Then tomorrow, Saturday, we can expect mostly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 27 and a low of 15. And finally, Sunday, we'll have partly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 26 and a low of 14. I'm on a roll. Why am I on a roll? Because I'm going to go eat tacos in Pitillal for lunch, and I'm really excited about that. Yummy. Let's see. I do have more headlines that I wish to share with you. Let me just set this all up. And we start with something crass, something that we don't talk about, but that maybe we should. It's a mystery when you're in Mexico and you are confronted with the reality that sooner or later, you have to sit down on a toilet and do the deed. There's the number one deed. There's the number two deed. There's the I had so much to drink deed that we're not going to talk about that deed. We're going to focus on number two. You see, in other places, you know what to do with your toilet paper. But Mexico, oh gosh, we're so confusing a country. Sometimes you go and sit down at a public toilet and you see a sign that says, put your waste paper in the basket. Sometimes we don't see a sign. And sometimes we just put the waste paper in the toilet like we're used to doing. Some of us, most of us. What do you do with your toilet paper? No, I'm not dying of curiosity to know. And there is actually a news item related to this whole conversation. And you see, what has happened is that Profeco, the Consumer Protection Bureau, has come up with their own set of instructions. The disposal of toilet paper after use has been, of course, a topic of constant debate, especially with the evolution of sanitation materials and systems. In its January 2025 report, the Federal Consumer Protection Agency, through the Consumer Magazine, provides clear answers as to what to do with the wipage, highlighting the most hygienic and sustainable methods for handling it at home. Of course, we know that toilet paper is essential for personal hygiene. This soft, thin, and highly absorbent material makes it different from other types of paper. So, this product is mainly made from plant fibers such as cellulose, pulp extracted from wood, or recycled paper. So, we know that by design, it's supposed to dissolve in the toilet. Um, and Profeco may or may not know much about why people make individual decisions about what to do with a darn thing. I can tell you this much. I know for a fact that when you are in indigenous areas, or not large, not indigenous necessarily, but cities where there's not a lot of plumbing and infrastructure, or small towns, it is common for people to expect you to just drop your paper in the basket, not in the toilet, because the plumbing may not be um, up to the task of handling paper. Um, but there's no set answer. And of course, this is not the kind of question that you go around asking people. How it's so nice to stay at your house this weekend. By the way, where should I put my toilet paper? It's awkward, it's weird, and I don't know if you've been in awkward toilet paper situations. Why are we still talking about this after 5 minutes? I don't know. Just let me know what you think about your experiences handling toilet paper, and I will tell you, if you see a sign that tells you what to do with the toilet paper, just follow the sign. That would be my basic sense of advice. I'm itching to see what kind of comments you're posting. Just remember to add a capital letter Q at the beginning. But let's talk about something a little bit more, not pleasant, but let's talk about something else, shall we? And that deserves a boom boom. Thank you very much. Yesterday, I found myself in near the Malecon for whatever reason, and my friends and I decided to try this Korean grill that is on Mina Street, right off the Malecon, not far from City Hall. I don't know if you knew that there is such a thing, but this place is called Fuego 322, and it's funny because I know that recently I heard in conversation that there is a new Korean grill. So I don't know if the comments that I've heard refer to this one, which has actually been around for 1 year, or if there's a new one that is about to open or has just opened and I simply don't get out very much. But let me tell you what this is about, because the fun factor is super, super high. This is a photo that I took from their Facebook page. This is, in case you're wondering where this is located, I do have this image that shows you the location of the front of the restaurant. It is on a second story, which of course sometimes makes it challenging for restaurants to be able to thrive. And from what they tell me, they were having all kinds of problems with their social media at the beginning, but they seem to be doing okay. So you enter the restaurant and you head up to the second story. As you can see, it's comfortable and quite spacious, which is lovely. And you are assigned a table, and the tables have this chingadera in the middle. So it's a little mini furnace. It's electric, as I understand it. So as soon as you sit down, a waiter comes and pushes a button, and this thing starts to warm up. Exciting, isn't it? And then, of course, they start bringing side dishes. This is an all-you-can-eat experience, and I'll explain how much it costs and what you get in a second. But first, they set up all these side things, and the way the operation works is you get two choices of buffet. The 399 version allows you to eat all these wonderful entrees. I'm looking at brisket top sirloin, natural pork belly, natural pork, beef done in a certain style, chicken done in a certain style. So you get all these things, unlimited amounts of these grillables for an hour and a half, 90 minutes. Drinks are not included. So you sit down, and for 395 pesos, you can order as much of this stuff. And you order by the numbers. I don't know if you can see on your screen, there's little numbers next to each item. So if you run out of one thing, you can just call the waiter, and the waiter will bring back more of that specific meat to grill. So that is the more affordable option. There is a less affordable option or more expensive. It's 550. 100 extra pesos will get you a lot more food choices to enjoy at your table. So you make a decision. You want to go with the more expensive or the less expensive. And once you do that, that's when the fun begins, because the staff starts bringing all these beautifully presented trays of uncooked meat, but it has been marinated. And then they will start you up by giving you a quick crash course on how to do this. And once you figure out how you're supposed to do it, then you're on your own. The waiter will go away, and you're expected to do your own grilling, which at first I thought would be a truly ominous experience, because I figured we're going to be so busy doing this that we will not enjoy our company. But, it is quite fun. Before you know it, you are doing the deed on your own. And you're handling this while you're having conversations with your friends, and so forth and so on. So that was our experience at this place. We got a couple of funny anecdotal stories from the waiter. I asked him, how is it going? And I explained my anxiety. I said, at first, I didn't know if we were going to be able to do this, since I am grill challenged myself. But he told me that they chuckle when they have dates bring their date, like when it's a man and a woman, and the women chuckle because they're expected to do their cooking while they are in the middle of their date. So, if you don't enjoy that, then you're not going to enjoy this place. If you don't enjoy having your hands busy while you're enjoying other people's company, you're not going to enjoy this place. But if you enjoy the novelty, and the fun of taking turns grilling, we actually had a good time once we got a flow of things, and it is totally fun, totally worthwhile. It's only been there for a year, and I hope they're there for a longer time. So feel free to check it out. I will leave the information in the show notes. And speaking of show notes, we're getting to the chat section of the broadcast. Let's have a look. Okay, I see a lot of good mornings. Albert says good morning. Hola Cluster, says Albert. My mouse is really twitchy today, but that's neither here nor there. Daniel says she's back. Yes, Dora. Yes, Dora has never gone away, really. She just shows up every now and then. Let's see what else. Oh, that was me. Good morning, cabrones. Yes, good morning, cabrones. Let's see. Aha. Oh, nice report. Thank you, Sue. I saw Dan, Kathy, and their daughter at Ernesto's on Wednesday. He's looking good. It was strange to see Dan in the wheelchair and Kathy walking. We're all challenged with learning new skills throughout our lives. That never stops, and I'm just glad to see my dear friends taking things in stride and taking things one day at a time. That's for sure. Let's see what else we have. And speak of the devil, Dan, I know that Kathy is typing for you. Great to be back, and annoying as always. Oh, come on, Kathy. I know that's you behind that keyboard. I love it. It's great to see you guys. It's great to have your company. What? Oh my God, Paco, you are such a spunky monkey today. Love it. How am I a spunky monkey, Gouda? I I didn't realize I was being a spunky monkey, but I hope it's a good thing. I think you're a spunky monkey every time I see you. And as long as Gouda is here, just a quick reminder for everyone, if you were not at Gouda and Seth Sykes and Mark Hartman's amazing Hello Gorgeous tribute to Barbara Streisand this past Monday, do yourselves a favor, book yourselves a seat because it was absolutely fantabuloso. There you go. New word. Let's see. Oh no. Oh, I'm glad, Curtis, that you and Lorenzo tested negative for COVID. I have another friend that recently took the test. It's still around, friends. So just remember to be mindful of that. Grab your vaccines and use your common sense as always. This is the time of year when we have to be concerned about this. Let's see. Is the celebration in San Sebastian and rodeo always in January? Yes, it is, Laura, because the patron saint fiesta, each town has its own patron saint, and the patron saint fiestas have are attached to the date in which the Catholic Church celebrates a given saint. So if in the Catholic Church calendar, the day that honors Saint Sebastian is in January, that's when the patron saint fiesta is in that particular town. Of course, there are other towns around Puerto Vallarta that have patron saint fiestas on different days. And even within Puerto Vallarta, there are certain colonias that have churches, and those churches venerate a specific saint. So, for example, in Colonia Emiliano Zapata, there's a patron saint festival on the day of the Church of the Cross. I forget what the date is. But yeah, these things happen year round, so it's always fun to keep an eye on them because they're fun, traditional celebrations. Let's see. Da, 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 da. And I'm going to read this endorsement because Daniel was there with me. Hola, Gouda Gabor. I hope everyone goes to see your show with Seth Sykes and Mark Hartman on Monday night at Nacho Daddy. It is phenomenal. Would you like to see another video from that show? If you write the word video in your comment, I have another song that was sung by Seth and that Daniel graciously recorded. And if I see the word video in your comments, I will be so happy to include it in tomorrow's broadcast so that you can get excited about this performance. Continuing along. Harold says, it would have been good planning. Okay, I'm going to stop there because it wasn't. And since it already happened, what are we going to do? Let's look to the future, Harold. Let's see what else we have. Let's look to the future, right, Luna? A report from Jess. Yes, Dad, which is Dan, of course. Dan finished his exercises this morning and was able to stand independently. He was able to push my mom in the wheelchair. Oh, wow. In the apartment, with some assistance, he'll be ready for the Ironman soon. Oh, that is so wonderful to read. Jess, your presence in Puerto Vallarta during these days has been wonderful for your parents, has been wonderful for all of us. It will be sad to see you go, but we look forward to your return. Our dear friend Michael from Bravos in Siam says, I'm back finally. Paper goes down the toilet if it is biodegradable and no hand towels or hand wipes. That is why lines get blocked from baby wipes or napkins. There you go. Let's see. Tony says, Buenos dias, Paco. What's the name of the taqueria that you're having lunch at? Bon appetit. Thank you very much, Tony. I am taking my friend Albert to enjoy Tacos Netos. He's never been there before. Tacos Netos is one of the most emblematic taco places in Pitillal. It's been open for decades, and it's right in the heart of downtown Pitillal, and it is absolutely wonderful. Love it. Let's see what else we have. Then another comment from Michael. True, if the building is older, then pipes are smaller and can block easily. Now, with the new construction, you will see bigger pipes. And that makes sense to me. I was at a new construction recently and I saw a sign that said, put the toilet paper in a basket. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, why would they do that if this is a new building and, you're supposed to be built in a certain way? I think it's just so weird. What the fuck? Exactly. That's what I say. I mean, what the hell? Let's see what else we have. Ooh, you get to grill your own meat and veggies. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Logan has a long toilet flushing comment. General rule of thumb is think before you flush. Well, yeah, and pay attention for any signs that may be sitting around. Betsy, good morning. Spent my first 14 years in Ajijic. We never flushed toilet paper ever, anywhere, whether marked or not. I retained that norm here in Vallarta. We also installed bidet hoses. Too much information. No, I'm just kidding. I wish bidets were more popular. I really do, because they're fun. Let's see what else we have. Tony says that restaurant is on my list. It seems very reasonable for the price and what is offered. Because I'm not reading the comments as you place them. I don't know, Tony, if you're referring to the grilling place or the taco place. But yeah, if you're referring to the grilling place, I thought it was reasonably priced and the fun factor was high, as long as you're happy minding the grill. If you're expecting the staff to do it for you, then it ain't gonna work because you're expected to do your own flipping. Let's see. When there, did you see that above their little electric grills, do they have an exhaust above it? It must fill up with smoke. No? Well, actually, I didn't pay attention. What I did notice, yes, it did get smoky, and at times it headed in my direction, but it wasn't so much to cause any discomfort. I did notice that the staff of the restaurant goes around looking at what stage of the grilling each table is at. And a couple of times when we were just conversing and we were between portions, they would come by and turn down the grill so it wasn't as hot. And as soon as they saw that we were ready to grill more, they would turn it on again and the temperature would quickly go back up. So it was fun. It was fun. Let's see what else we have. Oh, funny you should mention this, Laura. Seems similar to a French fondue, because I'm going to have access to French fondue this weekend in San Sebastián del Oeste, and I am so stoked. It's not even funny. I haven't had it in years. Let's see. Those types of restaurants are fun, especially with a large party. I concur, Mark. And there were some tables that were particularly large, and they had double grillers. So you can have two grills going on at the same time. We had exactly that same thought when we were there, and there was only 3 of us. Oh, and somebody was asking me earlier, privately, is this a good deal for a single person? And I think it is. You know, if you're really hungry and 400 and something pesos is not too much for your budget for unlimited food, I say go for it. Let's see what else we have. David, who knows I'm going away tomorrow, says, hope you enjoy your trip to the Pueblos Mágicos. I will be gone tomorrow. I leave tomorrow morning to explore some Pueblos Mágicos. I will be away on tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, but my digital assistants will take very good care of you while I'm gone with some interesting content, I hope. Let's see. Spunky Monkey is a compliment full of youthful energy. Well, I get all my youthful energy from you, Gouda, so that makes us a pair of spunky monkeys. Oh, speak of the devil, Larcito. There you are. Have a safe drive. I was going to say, have a safe black. Have a safe flight back to Puerto Vallarta. It's time for more coffee, that's for sure. Uh, Trudy says, have a wonderful time this weekend. Would love to see pictures. Of course, you're going to get pictures. You're going to get pictures and video and all kinds of things. And a number of you have written video in your comments, so I'll make sure to append another song from the wonderful Hello Gorgeous show to tomorrow's broadcast so you can check it out. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-bum. I wonder if the heat from the grill is too much in the summer. What a great comment. That's a good comment, because if it's air conditioning and they close all the windows, that might make it work. But if there's not good ventilation, I don't know. All I can tell you is last night the temperature was perfect for sitting down. It was not too warm. In fact, you couldn't really feel the heat of the grill in front of the table. Of course, you need to be careful your hands don't get close to it, but it was quite sensible. It was lovely. Let's see. How was the drinks at Fuegos? Not extremely expensive, but also not inexpensive. I had a glass of wine. I honestly forget how much it was. But again, it all depends on what you want to drink. I mean, if you're on a budget, you can just drink a soda or you can just drink water and you'll be fine. And let's see. I think we're done. Oh my goodness, we're done with your comments. So I think this is a good time to wrap up our broadcast. Thank you so much for joining me for another week. And tomorrow will be our last broadcast of the day. I'll be watching along with you. But in the meantime, I hope you have a really fantastic day. I hope you have a great weekend. And I thank you for everything you bring to the table, whether it's comments or donations or contributions or memberships. All goes to a great place and is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Have a great day.